Hey guys, it's Tape the Grape, and as you can see, this is my new car. Well, a wagon. My very first wagon I've ever owned. This is a 1987 Dodge Aries wagon. Aries K, a K car, the car that saved Chrysler. Of course, it's the facelift version, so it doesn't got the super squared front end, but it's still cool regardless. Not to say that it's any less cool than the first the pre-facelift, of course. It's got rims from I believe the buddy Aenoy Motors I bought it from said it's from a New Yorker or a LeBaron. I believe he said New Yorker. There, new tires on it. As you can see, it looks rough, but here's the reality of the situation here. You see this? There's like almost no rust. There's surface rust, but no rot whatsoever. This is from central southern Illinois, near Mt Vernon, which some of my family is actually from near there. Not from Mt Vernon, but near there. Here's the back of it. You can see, I got it already registered and insured. I've been driving it. I meant to make this video yesterday, but I just did not have time. But here you go today. You'll notice it does have a little bit of a ding there sometime in the late 90s, early 2000s. Got a little funny story here. It hit a deer, as you can see. It also did that, apparently. We don't know for certain, but we're assuming that. That's no big deal. And the funny thing is, look, deer whistles. I like to think they got that after the deer hit them, or they hit the deer, but I bet you they had them on during the time that it happened. Them deer whistles do not work. They're a gimmick. But anyway, let's get on to the interior. Oh, buckle up for safety. Let's see. Now, when I was inquiring about getting this, it actually didn't have carpet in it. It had other things that was needed worked on. I'll tell you here in a second. So I'll tell you here in a second why we had to put the carpet in and why it didn't have it in the first place. Anyway, as you can see, the seats are in really nice shape. Really, the only interior damage is this door panel got wet at some time or another, and these sun visors are ripped up, but that's nothing. You can't find something in a used parts car or just reupholster eventually down the line. Door panels, really nice. Show you the back seat. Comfy old bench seat. Of course, there's the carpet, which isn't really that worn. I'll get to the mileage and everything here in a bit once I do the startup. Of course, the headliner's not in terrible shape at all for an 87. That's, what, 38 years old, and the interior dome light works as well. I'll show you the back in a second. Let's get to the back now. Now, it requires a little bit of two-hand action to get it open, so despite looking like a handle, right underneath where it says Dodge is not a handle. If you try and use it as a handle, it'll rip off very easily. So you gotta squeeze your fingers between the bumper and the bottom of the tailgate and then lift it up once it clicks, once you press the key. So in the back, we've got tons of room. Got some spare parts. I've got more I'll show you in a bit, but these are parts, these are extra parts and parts that need to be replaced. Got an old new stock, I would call it, old air filter. I believe this one is from the year 2000. That's what it says on the bottom, that's right. And this one from 1993. So it's new, but it's old. It's old, but it's never been used. That's somewhere it said, yep, 93 down there, as you can see. And I've got a few more parts I said. And something super rare that I don't believe came in this car, but my buddy Aenoy Motors found for this car is one of these things, the cargo cover. He says those are super rare to find at all, but even in good condition, rare to find especially. Let's put that up, don't want to ruin that. And the retract mechanism works pretty well on it still as well. So anyway, let's get into the interior and look. Before that, I'm actually going to show you the spare parts that it came with, the extra spare parts. Now this is a fender, the same exact color, and it's even got the same exact pinstriping. Aenoy Motors got that off of a junkyard car. He says it's been sitting probably since the mid-90s, but thank goodness it's got similar wear, so it wouldn't look too off when you put it on there. Plus, it's, you know, it's the same color and has the same pinstriping. Plus the interior, what do they call it, wheel well, because I think this one's missing on that side. But anyway, we're eventually going to put that one on, but it's not an important thing to do right this second. And then on here, in here in the shed, it also came with a matching set of light blue vinyl door panels if I ever wanted to switch them out. And I got the handles in a bag over there with them so I don't lose them, everything and stuff. You know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, those are cool. Those also came with the car. Alright, so more detail on the interior than what I just showed you. Of course, it goes without mentioning, manual windows, manual locks, manual door, manual moving the seat, seat adjustment, no tilt column. It's the super basic model. I don't know if any of them came with a tachometer. I don't even think the manual ones came with a tachometer. If it was a manual, I think this section here was just like upshift, downshift, maybe just upshift light that would tell you when to shift, if you had that as an option. I was reading the owner's manual, which this thing surprisingly still has. I'll show you that in a second. Of course, not a bench, the bucket seats, but no center console from the factory. But very basic. Let's go look at that owner's manual. As you can see, it's still in its plastic. Probably never been, I mean, it's been taken out, obviously, but I mean, it's probably rarely been taken out because it's in really decent shape. No chewing of the edges or wear on it, so probably bought, and that's about it. I already looked. There's no writing. It tells you, names of who owned it prior or maintenance records, but that gets on to another story I have to tell you about how and why I acquired this, in a way. And sorry for jumping all around. It's got 129,000 miles on it. And it has as you can see, a 5-digit odometer, so it's not 29,000 miles. It's clearly 129,000. It's too rough to be 29,000 miles. It'd be a really rough 29,000 miles, and it's too nice to be 229,000. So we'd guess 129,000 miles. But let's check out the engine. And so this thing has the 2.2 Chrysler engine, the smallest one it could have came with. It could have come with this one, the 2.5, which that Plymouth Sundance we had. And I'm pretty sure this later year model of the K-Wagon and K-Series vehicles also came with the 2.6. I know the early ones did. I'm pretty sure this generation did as well. The 2.6 Mitsubishi engine, that was the biggest engine option. I think they kind of missed out on giving us a V6 option, but again, this was a budget car. They had the 2-door, 4-door sedan and the wagon. But anyway, it powers it just nicely. Now the story on this, my buddy Aenoy Motors in 2020 was buying parts off of some guy in southern Illinois, and he just so happened to see this sitting in the guy's yard. He said, "Oh, what's the story on this?" And apparently the guy told him he was driving it along sometime in 2009, and when the engine stopped running, he was like, "What the heck?" He got it towed to a shop. The shop told him, "Oh, this engine's blown. It's junk. You need to scrap this." Of course, it was a 22-year-old car at the time, which is pretty old for a car, But it being rust-free, he probably didn't feel like he wanted to get rid of it. He was probably like, "Oh, I'm going to fix it one day." Sure enough, 11 years later in 2020, my buddy Aenoy Motors purchases it from him, and all it needed was a dang timing belt, which I will show you. He did the timing belt at 129,000 miles, 129,682, and he's owned it 5 years, and he's put less than 100 miles on this car. So it's basically just been sitting, apart from like starting it up every once in a while and driving it around the block or to the grocery store or something like that. He doesn't rely on this as a daily driver. Obviously, he's got plenty of vehicles he works on and things like that. But anyway, so he was like, well, I'm going to put this up for sale. And I was interested because I sent him another marketplace ad for a car just like it. And I'm like, ooh, look at this. It looks nice. And he says, well, I've got one for sale. I'm gonna put one up for sale soon if you're interested. I was like, well, sure. Heck yeah. So sure enough, a few months later, we get everything settled. We work on the interior, as I may have mentioned already. Maybe I didn't, but at the end of this, or maybe I'll make a separate video and put that in the description of the second video of doing the interior and stuff like that. But anyway, look for the description for that. But anyway, yeah, so he's owned that. He's saved it from getting scrapped / sitting for a very long period of time. And here it is now in all its glory. Let's see if I can push. Oh yeah, I got to push down in it. That's right. Yep, before I bend stuff, you got to push forward and then down. So anyway, there's the beauty. Let's start it up here in a second and take it for a test drive. Alright, so I'm going to do the startup on the outside. Prime the fuel pump. There we go, it's all started. Take it for a short test drive, and then I've got to go to Walmart in it, because I got to buy some deodorant. But anyway, foot on the brake. Put it into drive. Let's go. Brakes are good, acceleration's good. Transmission shifts smoothly. Engine runs good. It does have a little bit of a stiff acceleration pedal, but from what I understand, that's how they were built, because it's got the it's a 3-speed automatic. I might have never said that. And anyway, it's got the shift. It's not electronically controlled transmission, so it's got like the shift linkage from the transmission as well as the acceleration. I'm sorry, the shift linkage on the accelerator from the transmission and the revving of the engine. It's both hooked up to the acceleration, so it's got a little more extra drag compared to a modern vehicle where it would just be the engine RPMs and stuff. But anyway, let's turn down this road here and then get a view of the wheel. Sorry, had to cut the video there. There was police right in front of me, and I was like, oh crap. But anyway, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not staring at the phone. I'm staring at this place I'm driving to. I'm not staring at the phone is what I'm trying to get at. Well, anyway, drives pretty good. It's clunky because it's an 80s car, but I mean, hey, it's also 38 years old, so it's not gonna be pristine driving, even if it is an 80s car. It still needs some work. It needs some front struts to be replaced and a few odds and ends. I know I gotta get some linkages for the wipers to work, but we got most of the stuff for that. And oh yeah, overall it's pretty good. When's the last time you saw one, honestly? So let me know. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not up super fast, but with how loose everything feels, well, loose in a subjective way, not necessarily bad loose, but like a 1980s car kind of loose, it feels pretty fast for 35 miles an hour. But it's smooth through and through, honestly. As you can see, the front right kind of bounces up and down quite a bit. But anyway, I better get off here. Hope you enjoyed.